Now, many victims of anti-government protests continue to endure severe suffering while seeking treatment for injuries sustained during the demonstrations, primarily gunshot wounds. This ongoing distress comes despite promises from the government to compensate them. Individuals like Peter Orandi and Peter Njoroge have shared their harrowing experiences, urgently calling for justice and financial restitution. Orandi, who was shot 5 times, and Njoroge, a shoe hawker, left handicapped after being shot in his left hand, both remain resolute in their fight for change, planning to protest again on the 8th of August. Both men are yet to see any accountability for the police officers responsible for their injuries, even though they say they can identify the perpetrators. Willie Lusige reports on the continued plight of these protest victims.
As the youth, popularly known as Gen Z, continue organizing demonstrations for August 8th, with the government seemingly hesitant to act against police who used excessive force in the recent protests, many victims of police brutality are still fighting for their lives. Young Peter Orandi vividly remembers the 20th of June, the second demonstration against the finance bill and the government. He left the house to join his fellow protesters on Kenyatta Avenue in the heart of Nairobi's central business district. But his dream of fighting for leadership changes wasn't realized, and his journey did not reach its intended destination.
As I was making my way from OTC, the bus stop, towards Kenyatta Avenue, I found protesters and police clashing up at Kenya Cinema.
As he got off the matatu, even before reaching Kenyatta Avenue, he encountered peaceful protesters who were trying to persuade the police to allow them to continue with their demonstration.
Protesters started shouting, "We want peace, we want peace." And then I thought the coast was clear. Like at that point, exactly at that point, I thought the coast was clear. I can continue.
Suddenly, gunshots ran out. With the protesters thinking it was tear gas, Peter felt something hit his leg, and he had to run to save his life.
Like I just felt sudden impact on my body, and at first, the first instinct was they've shot tear gas. This thing is going to explode, nikiwa hapo. So I ran and took cover.
But when he tried to get up from his hiding place to head towards Kenyatta Avenue, his legs could no longer support him. It's then that he realized that he had been shot.
I took 2 steps and I felt mguu ilikuwa weird sana, my right leg. It was a feeling I'd never felt before.
Thinking he had been hit by 1 bullet, he was rushed to the hospital by Good Samaritans. It turned out that he had been hit not by 1, not by 2, not by 3, not by 4 bullets.
My surgery the next day, and they removed the bullets. There were 5.
Peter Njoroge Njenga, a shoe vendor in the Ambassador area of Nairobi CBD, is another survivor.
Hiyo siku nilikaa hapa kwa nyumba mpaka saa 7. Nikaamua kwenda kuangalia kama naweza fungua kazi yangu.
He could not open his business due to the clashes between the demonstrators and the police. He decided to wait and see if the situation will calm down. Little did he know what awaited him.
Sasa maaskari walitoka kukimbiza vijana wa Gen Z pande hiyo ya Moi Avenue. Wakakuja hapo karibu na barabara mahali tulikuwa. Wakatuliza kwa nini ya mtaroki. Na wakaanza kulipua risasi. Ndio nilijipata nimepigwa risasi.
The police shot at him, shattering 2 fingers of his left hand. He was hospitalized at Kenyatta National Hospital and is now disabled.
Nikalazwa Kenyatta kwa wiki moja na siku 4.
These victims are angry at the government's reluctance to take action against rogue police officers, despite the high number of victims whose lives have been ruined by their brutality and who have not received any compensation.
Muda yote sijapata msaidizi ya mtu yote, najisaidia nategemea mwenyewe. na kuna shida kweli kabisa, hata niko na shida kabisa.
They say they will join their fellow protesters on 8th of August as the government has failed to meet the demands of Kenyans and they are angry with the newly announced cabinet. As the government continues to chant compensation and justice mantras to the victims of anti-government protests, survivors have expressed their displeasure, insisting that the government is yet to fulfill those promises. Willie Lusige, Citizen TV, Nairobi.